Hello students. So now today we are starting up with the design of two-way slabs. We have two-way restraint slabs. I have already talked about the theory of the design, the codal provisions that are to be followed, and today I will be doing one numerical. Now one practical numerical on two-way slabs. We are to design a slab for a residential building. The size of the slab is 4.2 meters by 5.8 meters. Both are effective spans, and it is simply supported. Slab is simply supported on all four sides on 230 mm thick wall. The corners of slab are prevented from lifting. Let us assume that the imposed load on the slab is 3 kilonewton per meter square and the floor finish load is 1 kilonewton per meter square. Let us say we are using M25 concrete and Fe415 steel for the slab. So this is the practical design problem, and we are to solve it, means we are to get the reinforcement detailing and all these things for the slab. Now first of all, I have already told you that if the corners are prevented from lifting, so it means this slab is a restraint slab. Now in this slab, out of the 9 cases that are given in annexure D, which case is to be followed? Now for that, it is written that the slab is simply supported on all the 4 sides. So it means practically, in the previous class I have told you that if the slab is simply supported on all the 4 sides and the corners are prevented from lifting by maybe walls on all the 4 sides, we will be considering it to be case number 9. So we will be designing the system as per case number 9. Okay. So in the steps, what is the first step? First step is we are to assume some effective depth and overall depth. And we know if the value of the shorter span is greater than 3.5, then we are to use clause 23.2.1 to assume the values of effective depth and overall depth. Okay. Now this particular value was based upon Lx upon D ratio. This Lx upon D ratio for a simply supported system is 20 into a modification factor. Let us say I am assuming that this value is nearly 30. You can take any value between 25 to 30. To be on economical side, I am using 30. You could have used 25 as well. Okay. So this value becomes 2200 upon D is equal to 30. So the value of D is coming out to be 4200 divided by 30. So the value of D is 140 millimeters. Let us say I am assuming the effective cover to be 20 millimeters. Therefore, the value of overall depth becomes 140 plus 20, that is 160 millimeters. Dx has become, the value has become 140 millimeters, and the effective span along y direction, if let us say we are using 10 mm dia bars, we generally take, even for 8 mm dia we could have taken 140 minus 8, but I am using 140 minus 10 only, so I am taking this value to be 130 millimeters. Okay. Now, this is the first step. Second step is getting the loads. So the loads will be, it will consist of self weight. Self weight is 25 into 0.16, that is overall depth. So this comes out to be 4 kilonewton per meter square. Then floor finish is 1 kilonewton per meter square. then live load is 3 kilonewton per meter square. So the total load is 8 kilonewton per meter square. If I take a factored load, it will be 8 into 1.5, that is 12 kilonewton per meter square. So we will be designing the system for a load of 12 kilonewton per meter square. Okay. The third step is calculation of moments. Moments will be calculated by using clause D1, and we will be using table 26 of the clause, and we will be using case 9 for this particular slab. Okay. So if you look at this particular case 9, it is 4 edges discontinuous. It will have only positive moment because this is discontinuous at 4 the edges, so it means it is simply supported along both ways. I have already told you in my previous lecture that this value of, the slab is simply supported, then along this span also the system will have this as the bending moment diagram. Along this span also we will have this as my bending moment diagram. So this is the shorter span, so this value will be, the coefficient at this will be alpha x plus. This is a longer span, the coefficient will be alpha y plus here. We will not be having a negative coefficient in this case. Okay. So we will be using only two coefficients, alpha x plus and alpha y plus. Now these coefficients I will get it from this particular table. This table is based upon the value of Ly by Lx. So alpha x is based on the value of Ly by Lx, but alpha y is constant for all values of Ly by Lx. Okay. So it means if we are using case number 9, alpha y is coming out to be 0.056. Okay. So alpha y is clear. Alpha y is plus 0.056. For alpha x, we need to get the values of, we need to find out the value of Ly by Lx. Ly in this case is 5800 and Lx is 4200. So I'll be dividing 5800 divided by 4200. So this value is coming out to be 1.38. So if I look at this particular, now 1.38 will be between 1.3 and 1.4. So the values will lie between 0.079 and 0.085. So by linear interpolation, I'll get the value somewhere in between. Okay. So I'm doing the linear interpolation. So alpha x will be 0.079 plus 0.085 minus 0.079 upon 1.4 minus 1.3 into 1.38 minus 1.3. So this value is coming out to be 0.084. Once you have got the values, you can get the value of mx and my. Mx will be alpha x w lx square. This will be alpha y w lx square only. I am repeating here. Everywhere we will be using the value of Lx. Okay. So this comes out to be 0.084 into 12 into 4.2 square. So this is coming out to be 17.7 kilonewton meter. this value will be 0.056 into 12 into 4.2 square. It is coming out to be 11.8 kilonewton meter. Okay. So the third step is over, getting the moments. The fourth step will be getting the reinforcements. So reinforcements along x direction. Reinforcement along x direction. I'll be using the formula, same formula as we have been using it from quite a lot of time. 0.5 FCK upon Fy 1 minus root of 1 minus 4.6 m upon FCK BD square into B into D. So put the values. FCK is 25, this is 415, 1 minus root of 1 minus 4.6 into mx is 17.7, FCK is 25, B is 1000, dx is 140 square into 1000 into 140. Okay, so this is coming out to be 366 millimeter square. Let us say we are using 8 mm dia bars. So spacing of 8 mm dia bars, area of one bar is pi by 4 into 8 square, area to be provided is 366, spacing for 1000. So this is coming out to be 136 millimeter center to center. So I am saying that provide 8 mm dia bars at the rate of 135 millimeter center to center. So AST provided will become pi by 4 into 8 square upon 135 into 1000. So it is coming out to be 370. So instead of 366 millimeter square, we have given 370 millimeter square as the area. Okay. Similarly, we will be able to find out reinforcement along y direction. The formula remains the same. ASTY will be 0.5 into 25 upon 415, 1 minus root of 1 minus 4.6 into moment in this y direction was 11.8. So 11.8 into 10 raised to power 6 upon 25 into 1000 FCK into B. D in this case will be 130 square, 1000 into 130. So this is coming out to be nearly 255 millimeter square. Again, if I am providing 8 mm dia bars, the value will become pi by 4 into 8 square upon 255 into 1000. So this is coming out to be 196 millimeters center to center. So let us say we are provide 8 mm dia at the rate of 195 center to center for the reinforcement along y-axis. Okay. Now this is very important that this reinforcement, if this span is 5.8 meters, this span is 4.2 meters, then we all know that we are to divide this particular span into the middle strip, and the edge strip. Similarly, along this axis also, this is the middle strip, this is the edge strip. So this is the middle strip. On all the four sides, this is the edge strip. And the reinforcement that we got is for the middle strip. That is, along this direction, we are proposing a dia at the rate of 135 center to center. On this direction, we are proposing a dia at the rate of 195 center to center. Now in the edge strip, the code says, in both the four edge strips, the code says we are to just go in for the minimum reinforcement. Okay. So fifth step is, we will go in for reinforcement in the edge strip, that is the minimum reinforcement, and the code says this value is 0.12% B into capital D. So this is coming out to be into 1000 into D is 160, that is 192 millimeter square. Again, if we will get the spacing, it will be pi by 4 into 8 square upon 192 into 1000, that is 260 millimeter center to center. So in the edge strips, we are just to provide 8 mm dia at the rate of, let us say, 250 center to center. In all other cases, it is 195 and 135, but in the edge strips, we have to provide the reinforcement at the rate of 250 center to center. That we generally don't draw it in the detailing. We generally draw the detailing for the major reinforcements that are there in the mid strips. Okay. Now the next is something different. We want to find out the torsion reinforcement. Torsion reinforcement that is provided at the corners when the corners are not continued. Okay. Now in this case, because the corners are not continued at any of the directions, therefore in all the corners I will have to go in for the torsion reinforcement. Okay. So it means the torsion reinforcement is required on all four edges. Okay. So this corner reinforcement is to be provided as per clause D 1.8. So I am just showing you the clause, although I have done it in detail in my previous lecture. Clause D 1.8. It says, torsion reinforcement shall be provided at any corner where the slab is simply supported on both edges. It shall consist of top and bottom reinforcement, each with layers of bars placed parallel to the sides of the slab and extending from the edges a minimum distance of 1/5 of the shorter span. So it means on all the four sides it will extend by Lx by 5, 1/5 of the shorter span. So this is Lx by 5, both on the four edges. So length of the reinforcement will be Lx by 5. My Lx was 4200 upon 5, it is coming out to be 850 millimeters. Okay, 840 millimeters. Then how much is the reinforcement that should be provided? So it is again written in the same clause, the area of reinforcement in each of these four layers shall be 3/4 of the area required for maximum midspan moment. Okay, so it means area required for maximum midspan moment. Our maximum midspan moment was 17.7. Area required for this case was 366. Okay, therefore for corner reinforcement, area required will be 0.75 times the AST of midspan. that is 0.75 into 366, so it is coming out to be 274 millimeters square. Okay, the spacing will be pi by 4 into 8 square upon 274 into 1000, so it is coming out to be 182 millimeters center to center. Okay, so let us say we are providing 8 millimeter dia at the rate of 180 center to center. Now instead of saying that it is to be provided at 180 center to center, we will just go in for the number of bars. See, this is to be provided for a length of 840 millimeters. If I am going in for 4 bars, it will be 180 into 4 bars. The distance covered will be only 720 millimeters. If let us say I am going in for 5 bars, it will be 180 into 5. The distance covered will be 900. So instead of 840 millimeters, we will cover a little bit higher distance of, let us say, 900 millimeters. So we will be providing 5 bars of 8 mm dia, U-shaped at each corner. So length covered will be not 840, it will be covered, length covered will be 900 millimeters. Okay. Otherwise, we could have reduced this particular distance of not 180, we could have used 175. So let us say if we are using 175 into 5, it will be 875. If we are using 170, 850. So it means rather than provide 8 mm dia bars, rather than at 180 center to center, we can say we are providing at 170 center to center. So we will be going in for 5 bars. Okay. So we have established the corner reinforcements, we have done the main reinforcements, we have done the edge strip reinforcements. Now the next thing that is left is simply the checks. So next step is step number 7. Step number 7, check for deflection. Check for deflection. We have already done this check a number of times. We will be seeing that L by D provided is less than maximum L by D allowed. Okay, and this L by D allowed, we used to get it by L by D basic into the modification factor. L by D provided is 4200 divided by 140. So this is 30. L by D allowed is based on the modification factor, and this modification factor was based upon 100 AS upon BD. So it is 100 into 366 upon 1000 into 140. So it is coming out to be 0.26. And then we are to use Fs is equal to 0.58 Fy into ASD required upon ASD provided. I hope you remember it. You have done this particular check a number of times now. So this is 0.58 into 415. ASD required for the main steel, it was ASD required was 366 and ASD provided was 370. If we do the calculations, it will come out to be nearly 240.7. We will be using figure 4. We will be using figure 4, and from this we will be getting the modification factor. Okay, so I am getting the modification factor. This modification factor M1 is coming from figure 4 of IS 456. So this is coming out to be 1.6. Therefore, this value L by D basic was 20 into 1.6. This is coming out to be 32. So 30 is less than 32. Therefore, our check is okay for deflection. Okay. Now the next and the last check is check for shear. Although I have told you that the beams, that the slabs are most of the time they are safe in shear, I'll be doing this check only once, and I'll be doing now the exact check. What does the exact check says? The code says the check for shear is to be done at distance D from clear span. Okay, so it means if this is our beam, it is loaded with a UDL of 12 kilonewton per meter square. This span is 4.2 meters. Now rather putting the check here, the code says we'll put the check here at a distance of the value of D. We will be taking it because we are doing the check for both the reinforcements. So we'll be taking the value of D to be the average of two depths. So it is coming out to be 135. So we'll be doing the check at a distance of 0.135 from the support. Here. So VU will become, see the reaction over here will be WL by 2 minus this load will be W into D. So this is coming out to be 12 into 4.2 divided by 2 minus 12 into 0.135. Okay. So this value becomes 23.6 kilonewton. So we are to resist a shear force of 23.6 kilonewton. The system, it means, is to resist the nominal shear stress of V by B into D, that is 23.6 into 10 raised to power 3. B is 1000, D is 135. So this is coming out to be 0.17 megapascal. Okay, percentage. Now this is to be compared with the value of tau C that is given in table 19 of the code, and this tau C was based upon the value of 100 AS upon BD. We have already calculated the value of 100 AS upon BD in our previous check, that is check for deflection, and this value was coming out to be 0.26. So we are using this value. Then we will be using table 19 and we will be getting the value of tau C to be 0.365 megapascal. Then tau C for slabs is K times tau C, and this K was based upon the overall depth, again given in the code, just adjacent to table 19. Yes. So this was table 19. So this is the value of K, we used to get it from here. We are using the overall depth to be 160 in between the two, so we can use 1.28 in between the two. Okay. So this is coming out to be 1.28 into 0.365. So this is coming out to be 0.467. Tau V was 0.17. It is clearly less than tau C from slabs. Rather, it is very low as compared to the value of 0.46. That is why we say that the slabs are generally very safe in shear. They generally do not fail in shearing. So this check is also okay. Clear? So I'm repeating whatever we have done up till now. We were asked to design a slab. The loads were given. The conditions were given. The first step was we took the effective depth. So the value of effective depth and overall depth were taken. So this was taken by using clause 23.2.1 by using Lx by d value to be 30. Effective depth is coming out to be 140 millimeters along x-axis. Along y-axis it is coming out to be 130 millimeters. Overall depth is coming out to be 160 millimeters. Second step was calculation of loads. Loads included self-weight, floor finish, live load. We factored the load, so the loads are 12 kilonewton per meter square. Third step is calculation of moments. Depending upon which case the system is belonging to, we took that case. From the table 26, we took the moment coefficients alpha x and alpha y. And by using the moment coefficients, by using these two equations, we got the moments. Okay. Once you got the moments, the next thing is we need to get the reinforcement. Reinforcement along x-axis. The formula is already defined. The area we have got 366 millimeters square. We used 8 mm dia bars. And the reinforcement is coming at the rate of 135 millimeters center to center. Similarly, along y direction, spacing is there. It has come out to be 196 millimeters, that is 195 center to center. Then we wanted to get the reinforcement in the edges. The code says we are to just provide the minimum reinforcement. We found out how much is the minimum reinforcement, we found out the spacing, and we said that okay, along the edges we will go in for the reinforcement of 250 millimeters center to center. And this edge strip is Lx by 8. So this is 4200 by 8. On this side it is Ly by 8, that is 5800 divided by 8. So the edge strip is 525 millimeter along x-axis. Along y-axis it is 725 millimeter. So this is the edge strip that has been marked. Okay. Next is torsion reinforcement. Because the edges are not continuous in any of the directions, we will have the torsion reinforcement at all the four sides. So it's given in the clause D1.8, Lx by 5, 840. Area to be provided is 0.75 times the area at the midspan, 274. Spacing is coming out to be 182. Because we are to clear it up with the number, so instead of 182, we are providing at the rate of 170 center to center. That is, we are going in for 5 bars of 8 mm dia U-shaped in each corner. Okay. Then, once we have done this, we have done the check for deflection. The system is safe in deflection. We have done the check for shear. The system is safe in shear. So it means the design slab is okay with us. Now, we are to just draw the detailing of the slab. Detailing of the slab is this is 5800 millimeters. This is 4200 millimeters. We generally draw the main reinforcements only. Along this direction, our main reinforcement was 8 dia at the rate of 135 center to center. Along this side, we had reinforcement. Alternate bars are bent up like this. So this is 8 dia at the rate of 195 center to center. Along all the corners, we are providing the mesh of 5 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 bars in the mesh. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we'll write down these are 5 number 8 dia 170 center to center in order to cover the distance of Lx by 5. So it was coming out to be Lx by 5 was coming out to be 840 millimeters. Is it okay? Clear? Now we generally show two kinds of sections. One is the section with respect to the main reinforcement. Another is the section with respect to the torsion reinforcement. So let me draw section A. Section A. This is one bar that is going straight. Another, the straight bar. Another bar that was this reinforcement will be shown as dots because that has been cut. And this reinforcement was along x-axis and this along this smaller span, and this particular will come at the larger effective depth, so that will be placed at the bottom. In this case, we are doing alternate bars bent up. So this bent up will be at a distance of L by 10. So it is 5800 divided by 10, that is 580 millimeters. This reinforcement is 8 dia at the rate of 135 center to center. This reinforcement is 8 dia at the rate of 195 center to center. Overall depth is 160 millimeters. Okay. Similarly, I'll show the corner reinforcement, the torsion reinforcement. This torsion reinforcement, it is prevented for lifting by using this particular wall is continued. Okay, so the torsion reinforcement, this is the slab, wall, continued up. Now the torsion reinforcement is provided in U shape, this way, and then the second mesh is at the bottom, like this. Okay, now this distance that we have covered by doing this is 840 millimeters. So what are these? All this is 5 number 8 dia U shaped bars at the corners. So this depth is again 160 millimeters. So this is section AA. This is section BB. So this is the way we draw the reinforcement detailing. Okay. So that's it. That's all about this particular. In the next class, I'll be arranging one lecture class in which you will be doing the question. I'll be giving you the question. Maybe tomorrow we'll arrange a Zoom class. Thank you.